because Asa now has drum lessons, right?
Oh, didn't he have piano lessons?
He has piano on Mondays, drum on Tuesday.
Guitar on Wednesday.
No, he's gonna
vocal on Thursday.
Yeah, he's gonna be a one-man band. My name is Archie Grells, and I'm also the whatever.
Right.
This is a song you tighten up to. Anyway, so piano is here across the bridge over by the Long John Silver's. I had to take him yesterday. Long John Silver's still open.
Good.
Drums is up my folks' way, right?
Okay.
Up in Old Forge. So last week was the first drums. This week was the second drums. We've already we just ordered a large drum kit.
Ooh.
Yes. So while they're up there, they're like, well, I've had this dish of your father's for 2 weeks. I want to go run it by. And we left this swim bag with Ace's 15 pairs of goggles. And I'm exaggerating when I say 15. It's more like 8.
Mm-hmm.
With his goggles and stuff up there. So we're going to swing by and get those. And while we're up here, we're going to go swing by your brother's house to see how the pool is coming in. Oh, the kids are in the pool, so we're going to go swimming. And they leave like 15 minutes before I'm done for the day with work. So they're just gone, right?
Right.
So they ended up staying, I think, and literally I think they just walked in the door as we're speaking now.
Mm-hmm.
So I got done with work. I went and got Chinese. On the way home, I had to grab the drink. A soda to put something in on the way home. Might have got myself a chipwich.
Jesus Christ.
You know?
Living large.
I finished my Chinese food. I'm drinking my drink. I'm done with my chipwich. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, should I bother Todd and like see if we can record like super early? And I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to read some comic books. And then maybe if they pull this opportunity on me next week, I'll this is like a week's notice that it may be early next week.
Yep.
And
okay.
like as long as he does drumming, you know.
Right. And next week will be the week Tom shows up at the comic shop.
Right. And if he does, that's fine. You know, we're still on schedule for 9. You know, maybe next week I'll take a nap instead.
Right. You. I don't know. This has changed. I don't know if you'd be able to handle it.
Well, it just popped up on Facebook the other day that it was the anniversary, like the 8-year anniversary of us going into business for ourselves with the podcast.
Ooh, 2 more, and then we have to do the 10-year, right?
Right.
But I was thinking about that the other day, so I was.
Yeah.
I stopped looking at my Facebook memories because they were making me sad.
Oh, come on.
So,
now.
like, you know, so I was like, I'm going to get away from that for a while and kind of distance myself from social media. When I'm not pushing rogues on Twitter, I need to like hit the brakes a little.
Most of my Facebook memories are pictures of Asa that I've been tagged in.
Mm-hmm.
Comic shop posts.
Right.
And this came up.
Right. Facebook mostly is a couple of those. All my art goes up on my Facebook page, and there's a couple of good ones that I left, but because there's somebody we both know was like back when they started doing a podcast, they cleansed their Facebook on Memories Day. They would just be like, I'm not going to erase everything, but for 1 year every day I'm going to erase past posts. So I thought about doing that, but that's just crazy. That's too much work.
Right.
Since I don't have anything that's canceled me yet, I'm good.
No. Of course.
But so other than that, I've been keeping a low key profile, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's going on with me. I have to go to the bank tomorrow because
instead of going, this is going to be I'm going to preemptively tell you to write this one down.
Okay.
Instead of going to the bank, Todd,
Yeah.
You could just Google pictures of other people in line at the bank and tell people that you've gone to the bank.
Okay. I wrote that down.
All right.
I don't know how I wrote it down.
Sometimes I know. I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
But tomorrow I have to go and get our safety deposit box repaired.
Oh.
The other day, my father gave me papers to put in the family. We have a safety deposit box. My father's name's on it, my name's on it, and my brother's name's on it. And they only give you 2 keys. You only get 2 keys. So my father's like, I'm 80. You guys handle the keys. Like anything we need to put in there, we'll put in there. There's no money in there, Joe. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
We're just saying that. No. But no, there's a lot of stuff in there. Like I said, like my father's like living will. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay, I got this and that. Like, go put this in the safety deposit box. So I go up. They're like, hey, let's go in. You go in the back, and then you go in the vault. They're like, what number? I give them the number, and they go put the keys in, and it won't open. So they're like, it might be your key, because our key has opened other safety deposit box. I mean, granted, it might be that one on my end, but she's like, you have 2 keys. I said, let me call my brother, and he came down. He's like, I got the other key, and they tried that. It's like, no, it doesn't work. Something's wrong. So we're gonna call the safety deposit box, like the people who fix that. We'll get back to you. I said, well, my father's number's on the thing, but my name's on the box. She's like, yeah, so you can handle all this. I said, well, just call me, because you're going to call my father, and my father's going to freak out. He's going to be like, what's wrong with our safety deposit box? Is stuff been taken out? Like, no, it's just won't open. So I had to take the papers back, and I put the papers. My brother has a gun safe at his house because he was a hunter. So I just put whatever we got to put in there. And I went back, and I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen. So they end up calling me last week, and they say, are you available Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of next week? I said yes. So they were like, okay, Wednesday, how about like 9:00 or like as soon as we open, can you be here? I'm like, yeah. She's like, all right, well, they're going to come with the safety deposit box, and we need your 2 keys. And I'm guessing because they have to crack it open, they want me there. So like these guys and the woman who works at the bank aren't like rummaging through your shit. You know what I mean? Like you're not there to witness it. So I have to go watch them bring the 2 keys, and then they fix it and we put it back and do it. And I was thinking to myself, what would have happened if I had put the papers in the safety deposit box and then it wouldn't close? Do you know what I mean? Or lock?
Yes.
What do I do then? I'm wondering if they make me take everything home, or they give me a different safety deposit box for 1 week. You know what I mean? That's just the way my mind works. But tomorrow I have to go go to the bank, and this is all my ploy to rob it. You know what I mean? I'm doing recon, Joe.
Of course.
Right. So that's my big adventure this week, Joe.
So we had we have our safety deposit box here, right?
Right.
It's literally like right here next to me.
Right.
There is a lock and key on it, but it's never locked and keyed. Usually that's where my giant stack of to read pile is,
Right.
But not this time, pal. Now the other thing, so when you and I, when April and I went to Aruba, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to put stuff in the safe that they give you in the hotel room, which we never use, ever.
Right.
And it's not one with the key, it's one with a combination.
Oh, okay. Does it have the credit card swipe?
No,
Okay.
because you're not charged for it. It's just, because we were at the all-inclusive resort,
Oh, okay.
So she puts a bunch of stuff in there, some of her jewelry, our passports, all the other stuff. And anytime before she did that, like anytime that we were getting ready to leave, I'd be like, okay, where is everything? Like I wanted everything kept in one spot, like here's our passports, here's our boarding passes, here's our this, here's our that, here's our this, right?
Right. Here's the 9 knives I bought in Aruba that I'm going to throw away on the way home.
So at one point, I'm like, okay, all the stuff was here. Where is it? And she goes, oh, I put it in the safe. I go, okay. what's the combination to open up the safe? They're like, oh, it says that you set it like this, right?
Uh-oh.
So I go, okay, well, go ahead, open it up. I just want to make sure that it's, everything's good. But you can't get it open. She goes, this is the combination that I used. It's, this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not working. And she starts freaking out. I go, we shouldn't have put stuff in there, but it's no problem. Let's call down to the front desk. I'm sure they can send a maintenance person up. Let's get it open, okay? So he comes up. He has to plug a thing into it. It opens up. And I've already kind of sort of said, like, hey, let's not put stuff in there. She goes, oh, great. It's open. Let me close it and reset it.
Right.
And the guy's getting ready to leave. I go, hang on. Don't leave just yet. I go, go ahead and open it again, April. Doesn't work. Okay. I go, obviously, either there's something wrong with the safe or we're doing something wrong. I'm putting money on us doing something wrong, okay? Mm-hmm. So the guy's still there. I say, hey, open it back up so we can get our stuff out. He does it again. And she goes, well, let's try it again. I go, I really don't think we should. I think we're going to be okay leaving our stuff out. She goes, no, I really want to. So the way that the directions were on the safe, mm-hmm. it made it sound like you needed to hit like the reset key, then put the number in.
Right.
But the way that you actually had to do it was you had to put the number in, or hit the reset key when you're starting things from scratch. Mm-hmm. Put pick your password, and then hit open or close or whatever it is, and then that'll lock it. Don't hit reset ever again while your stuff is in there.
Right.
Because that essentially is going to take whatever code, like you put your stuff in, you hit reset, and it's just going to reset that code that you used, and it's locked forever.
Right.
But it was very misleading. The way that it was written on the thing, we were in a different country. Mm-hmm. It was written in English. It wasn't very clear. But yeah, it was like 3 times before we figured out how to use it. I don't trust these things. Luckily, you have the 2 like the launch code keys to open yours,
Right. Well, they have one, I have one, but like I said, we have 2 copies of the one. But see, the way I always thought, the one I said about the credit card is I've been in a couple of hotels when I've been to cons.
Yeah.
Is they don't charge you for the safe. But what'll happen is when you go into the room, the safe is blanked, reset, whatever you want to call it, and you put your stuff in the safe and you run your credit card or your something like that, and it's not charging your card, but it's reading your card. So that's the only thing that can open up the safe again.
Yeah.
So I would. That's why I asked if it had a credit card.
No, it did not.
Okay. So, because then that makes it super simple. And when I've gone to cons, like, with comma money, I've used the safe,
So are we allowed to talk about this here?
Sure.
That you and Adam were planning some sort of convention trip on Porch Talk today?
Yeah. I mean, it's just rehashing what you heard on the show, but you might not have had time to listen.
Well, I uploaded it to the site, but right. I didn't get a chance to listen.
Yes, me and Adam are going to a semi-local, an hour and a half away, July 8th, and I was going to ask you if you wanted to go for a little bit.
July 8th.
Which is a Saturday.
Okay.
The con starts at 10 o'clock, but we don't have to be there at 10 o'clock because if there's a couple artists there that I'm interested in, but I can contact them early and I would get stuff pre-done, so it's not like I have to be there early. And he might want a doll safari, a couple of places like along the way or the way back. And it's one of those that I don't see us like, let's just say I've been to this con and it's way bigger than the Scranton con, but I wouldn't be there all day, no matter what I wanted to do. So I could see us getting there 10, 11 o'clock, spending 2 hours, maybe 3, depending, if you see stuff you like, whatever, and then heading home. You know what I mean? Like not a full long day and then stopping to eat or whatever, like hitting a Target or a Walmart or whatever. I don't know, maybe a comic shop along the way if we find one. Make it somewhat a day, if you know what I mean, but
sure.
Not like, this is going to be 16 hours kind of a deal. Right. But I asked, originally me and DJ were going to this a while back. Or we had discussed it because we were discussing cons, and he's like, oh, I kind of want to go to this one. But he had tickets to a concert in Stroudsburg, maybe, the Circle Jerks. And he's like, he was going to that, but that got COVID canceled, I guess. So they ended up they're having it the weekend of this con now. So he's like, well, I already got these tickets. I'm not going to not go. I was like, oh, okay. Well, Josh was looking to go to another con because he doesn't really have anything planned this year. And I was like, okay, you want to go? He's like, Alyssa has plans for me and the kids that weekend. Or I was going to ask you if you wanted to go. So I hit Adam up. I'm like, because Adam was like, this is the summer of Adam. He's like, if you do any cons, let's go. So I was like, you want to? He's like, let me see. He's like, yeah, I could do this as long as we kind of do the Saturday. I was like, I prefer the Sunday, but like when he gave me his reasons, I was like, okay, the Saturday's fine. And I said, I'll hit Joe up, who would have been on the list, but I figured the car would hold 4. And since 2 people fell away, I was like, I'll ask Joe.
Well, again, July 8th, I don't think there's anything going on particularly.
Right, but there might be something you don't know about yet.
Right. I'm doing my best to stay ahead of that curve, you know?
Right.
Yeah, like pencil me in for right now.
Right. So I'm just going to pencil Joe in a maybe, and then I'm going to write under it in ink no.
Okay.
But no, I'm busting. Yeah. Well, I'll keep me informed. So.
Of course, when I know, you'll know.
Yep. So you'll know July 7th.
No, I'll probably I'll probably know for sure when you email me about the Star Trek show on Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's right. About how much I love it. So
yes, this show is great. Is what the email always says. It's just the same email every week around the same time.
Right, but it's always a reminder that how great it is.
Oh, that's right. That Star Trek show is great. You're correct.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to think. So I went to the Pierogi Festival this weekend as well.
What was the wheeling and dealing? Was it?
I
don't know. You said there was something with pierogies and wheeling and dealing. I don't know.
Well, there's food festivals going on in the area, right?
Right.
Like last weekend around here was the Pierogi Fest.
Right.
This weekend up Scranton Way is the Greek Food Festival.
Is that this week?
It is this weekend.
I've never been to that.
So I've never been to it either, but my kid has been watching like dozens and dozens of YouTubers, and there was a bunch that went to a bunch of food festivals. And he's like, I want to go to food festivals just to see. I'm like, okay, well, let's go,
I was hoping he was watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
No.
He's like, I need to eat some of that.
And then next weekend up on Montage Mountain is the Macaroni and Cheese Festival, right?
Oh, your kid's going to lose his mind.
Okay. Well, he didn't lose his mind too much at the pierogi one.
Right.
Like he went there, I forget where we went to. It's somewhere local around here. They had on their specials a pierogi mac and cheese sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's a mac and cheese sandwich with pierogies in the middle of it, right?
I don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
So he saw that at like the third vendor that we saw, and he's like, oh, that's it. That's what I want. We're like, you don't want to walk around and look at other stuff? No. I did partake in friend of the show, your brother in blue cheese. His uncle, Brett, his uncle has a food truck.
Right.
Does like the festivals and whatnots around here. And I went and got a very tasty burger from them.
No cheese.
No cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So, where is it going? Okay, so then, so it was pierogi last weekend, Greek this weekend, mac and cheese next weekend.
Right. Nothing after that.
A friend of ours is a foodie, and I contacted them, and I said, hey, food festival, you going to be up in my neck of the woods for these food festivals?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, this one and that one. I'm going to be in New York the weekend of pierogi. I'll let you know on Greek, and I'll let you know on this. So that opens up a dialogue. and I say, hey, what are you doing on this other day?
I think I know who this is now because it may have been stooged off to me. But
Okay. Then you do know who it is.
Yep. Let me just ask a question. Have I ever saved this person's computer from the rain?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yes, you have. When you say computer, do you mean laptop?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay.
Like, is Todd making house calls?
No. But this was discussed before the mics went live on Porch Talk.
So I have it as a legal binding contract, which is a screen recording of our text conversation.
Okay.
That I sent to someone else. So I have that person coming to do something else with me next month.
Gotcha.
All right. That's the wheeling and dealing.
You know what? Once Adam kind of stooged it off to me, because you know me, I ain't saying nothing.
Right.
I was like, wheeling and dealing, pierogi fest. The only thing would be better is if you guys hit up a Garrity's together.
All right. See, there you go.
I know way too much.
You know way too much.
There was a time people would have PayPal'd me for this information, Joe.
They still may.
Yep.
No announcements have been made yet. Nothing
right.
official as of this recording and as of this early release on Patreon. But who knows what Friday could bring?
That's right. When it drops for the regular people. So
right. And again, listen, the regular people, all of our listeners are special.
Yep.
Some of them just have $5 less in their pocket every month.
Or that's the way it goes.
Right.
And I don't want to, do too long of an after dark, but a lot of hot topping talk this week too on Twitter.
Hot. Oh yeah, you stooging me off to young Erica, who again I only speak to amongst groups of people, and I have 2 confirmed notifications of her birth before I speak to her. And I have a signed affidavit, no screen recordings.
Okay.
Yes. And then she makes a joke that she tore down like some dollhouse or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I made a joke back. She said there's things living in it. And then immediately you're like, Joe doesn't like pepperoni on his pizza. Like you're trying to curry some sort of favor of some kind, right?
Listen. First of all, we're brother and sister in arms on Smokey and the Bandit.
All right.
And we're brother and sister in arms on pepperoni, and we have to stamp out all pepperoni naysayers.
Right. Lash, though, did intrigue me with that turkey pepperoni, but I can't imagine I can't even imagine that's a road you're willing to travel down in any any remark of that sentence.
Right. No, there are many reasons. I don't know where in the multiverse of madness I would try that. But I will say this: why don't you buy one and you guys could eat it together?
Absolutely, I'll be right on top of that.
Right. So,
all right. So I think that's a perfect spot to end the show.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. This was Longbox Heroes After Dark 396. Patreon.com/Longbox Heroes. Thanks for listening. See you all next week.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of Podcast Network.